as the eyes and ears of Canada's north. There have been recent calls to double their ranks, but as W5's John Woodward reports, they face some major hurdles.
In a tent on the Arctic ice is where you'll often find Emmanuel Adam.
Today it turned out nice. This morning was 30 below.
Adam was at home as a guide in the harsh frozen lands around Tuktoyaktuk on the Arctic Ocean until he was around 40. Since then, he spent 30 years as a Canadian Ranger.
What's the longest you've spent out on the tundra or the ice?
One fall, I flew out. It was just starting to freeze up.
Yeah.
And I didn't come home till Christmas.
How many months is that?
3 months.
He's sharing this knowledge with the so-called Green Army of recruits training here in Operation Nanook in the north. They are green in more ways than one.
What do you think would happen to the soldiers and the sailors and so on here if they didn't have local knowledge?
If you didn't have it, you would learn by trial and error mostly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
An error on the ice could be fatal.
Yes.
Adam, just one of about 2,000 Arctic Rangers, part-time military experienced in the wilderness, many of them indigenous. Often found on snowmobiles, they assist with everything from protecting the soldiers from predators, finding routes across the otherwise impassable ice and snow, and simply helping the troops survive in the bitter cold.
Everything we know down south about surviving doesn't really apply up here.
Ranger Jimmy Davison is part of a crew keeping watch over military scientists in Parsons Lake, some 60 kilometers north of Inuvik.
Finding shelter is a lot harder, finding warmth and supplies like firewood and stuff doesn't exist up here. The elements get you real quick.
You're more than welcome. Help yourself with the extra food. Fill up plates.
At a feast in Tuktoyaktuk, Rangers mingle with soldiers.
Literally, there's nothing like the Canadian Rangers anywhere else.
Among them, Whitney Lockenbauer, a Canada Research Chair in the study of the Canadian North, and also an honorary Ranger. He says the Rangers make the North accessible to Canada's military.
By having that foundation, having that footprint, it allows us to pull assets, pull resources, military resources up to the North to operate if we need to.
But only 2,000 must cover a vast territory, at least 40% of Canada's landmass. That's led to calls by Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre to double their ranks.
Our Junior Ranger program has about 35 kids from 12 to 18 years old. Have more?
Veteran Ranger and politician Jackie Jacobson says Ranger training helps children avoid the drugs and depression that ravage this northern hamlet.
We lost 22 people here last year in the community. Every 22 people, we're the ones that all go to the funeral. It's sad when you could sing off the song sheet and you don't need to look at the paper.
He would love to train more, but there are not enough Ranger instructors.
We need more active military guys to come to Yellowknife to become a Ranger instructor, because the Ranger instructors that we do have, they're getting burnt out.
Out on the ice, Emmanuel Adam is still training new Rangers, but at 71, he won't be around forever. He's hoping more instructors can help. John Woodward, CTV News.
This drug has been